Hello, hello. Alright, you're probably gonna pick up my fan, Mr. Headphones microphone, but it is what it is. The Penguin has come and gone now, and here I stand, your humble Mr. Reviewer, to say, and we're back. Welcome back to Mr. Flamingo Reviews, where today I am reviewing The Penguin, which just ended yesterday. Headlined by Colin Farrell as Oz Cobb, The Penguin takes place just after the movie The Batman has come to an end, and follows the months after it and Oz's attempt to seize some power in Gotham's underworld. It was such a good show. Such a good show. The writing, the visuals, the characters, and everything in between was so fantastic. Weekly releases meant every episode left one chomping at the bit to see what happened next. Farrell's Cobb as a character was a flawed man with an interesting history who sometimes had half-decent intentions, like trying to be Gotham's kind of crime lord, a man of the people, while still being a deplorable, absolutely awful human being. They enriched the character from the Batman and made his history something to add value to who he is, to add some substance. The whole story being for him also did that, but you know what I mean. Now you can see Oz in, let's say, The Batman 2 and feel better knowing more about him. Or you could watch him in The Batman again and know how he got there from the flashbacks and the bits of his history prior to the show showing off anything from his youth to just 10 years ago. They add some supporting characters to add life to the story, and none of them are less interesting than Oz, which is fantastic and really a miracle. While Colin's leading role is your central point, focusing on his sidekick and right hand Victor isn't the end of the world because he's not a bad character. He's no Oz, but to learn how this young man gets to the point where he sees Cobb, of all people, as a father figure is enriching and interesting, and not some boring mess where he shows up on screen and you think, dang, I really don't want to pay attention to this guy. Sophia Falcone is a great tertiary lead when you learn her history and her relationship with the likes of Oz and the ever-powerful big man, as Oz calls him, Salvatore Maroni. Speaking of which, I spent a lot of the show disappointed, I guess, that Salvatore wasn't a larger key player, selfishly because I think that actor Clancy Brown, known for the likes of Mr. Krabs and other things, is a fantastic actor. But as episodes went on, I kind of grew to understand what his role was in service to the show. With Carmine dead, Sophia no longer had a headstrong crime leader father in her life, so she sort of shifted that attention and that role onto Salvatore. While Oz didn't get to usurp Carmine's throne, if you will, or prove he was a big strong player to the mob head he worked directly for, so that envy and anger he shifted on to Salvatore. Salvatore was an unwilling replacement for Carmine Falcone for both sides of this story. He was that stand-in, at least in my interpretation. Everyone, though, acted so well that I'd be hard-pressed to be disappointed in anyone's performances. Any issues I really had with the show boiled down to pacing. A large chunk of the middle episodes felt like they were always setting up. They were raising the expectations. They were promising bigger things to come. It was a lot of promising and promising and promising. A lot of setup, and it took a while before you could see where everything was going towards, what everything was coming together to become. But luckily, yesterday I did it in short because I've been busy or sick or what have you, day jobs, all that good stuff. So I've just been doing shorts a lot. Episode 8 came out and it stuck the landing, I could say. Overall, if you're not a big fan of like the Batman, let's say, or comic books or superheroes, this isn't your superhero show. This isn't your comic book show. There's not going to be men in tights or people shooting lasers or anything that you might be turned off from, turned away from. This is like a mobster epic more than anything else, set in the world with DC Comics names attached to it, such as Falcone or the Penguin. But it's not like, you're not going to see a man waddle around with well, he does waddle, but they give it a real reason. You're not going to see him hobble around and he has the little monocle and He's not shooting a gun that's an umbrella. None of that sort of stuff. If that's your issue, I love that sort of stuff, but that's just me. That's not for everybody. It's set in the Batman universe, and that first The Batman movie proved that it was trying more so its hand at being a crime saga more than it is like the fantastical. And while I like the fantastical, I like this too. I thought this was a great show from start to finish. It was interesting, it was investing, everybody acted great, as I said, and honestly, it sucks that it's over, but it makes me interested in the Batman Part 2 to see where Oz goes from there, to see all of his troubles and how he causes issues for everybody else. Good show, though.